Kouri Richins, the Camas mom convicted of killing her husband with a lethal dose of fentanyl, will spend the rest of her life behind bars without the possibility of parole. A judge handed down that sentence today after emotional statements from both families. Our Brian Schnee and Heidi Hatch live outside the courthouse in Summit County for us right now with reaction to what happened today, guys.
Mark, certainly a heavy and emotional day in the courtroom today. Kouri Richins, until the very bitter end, maintaining her innocence as she spoke to her 3 young sons today. She learned her fate about this life behind bars on what would have been her husband Eric's 44th birthday.
Kouri's conversation to her sons was about 45 minutes long today. Basically what she said is, this is the first time I'm really able to communicate with them in a matter of years, saying that her letters have been returned, saying that her phone calls from prison are being blocked, and really just, pouring it all out there. There was moments of just disgust and disappointment with some of the things that were being said while Kouri was seated. And then, of course, while other folks from the defense team were talking, she was visibly emotional. She was still visibly emotional when she was able to take the stand, if you will, or the area where she was speaking to Judge Richard Mrazik. She also talked about how murder and attempted murder and all these things that have taken over her life in a way over the last couple of years, how this has affected her personally. Take a listen.
Murder, an attempted murder, 4 years later, and it's still hard for me to say those words out loud. They get caught in my throat. I turn my stomach, and I try to avoid them as much as possible because it makes me physically sick to think about. But still to this day, I can't believe this is real sometimes. That this is our life. That this is my life. Convicted of taking one of the people out of my life who filled it the most. My husband, the father of my children. Still in shock. And still in disbelief.
So during her 40-minute speech today in court, again, as you mentioned, Heidi, Richins vowing to appeal. That will definitely come next. And no matter how long it takes, she says that she wants to prove her innocence to her sons.
She does have 3 young sons. They were 4, 7, and 9 when this happened. The oldest now 13. And before the sentencing, Kouri Richins' young sons wrote letters to the court. They were not in the courtroom today, saying they are afraid of their own mother. Those letters read by each of their own counselors who were representing them today in court. In it, they say they would feel unsafe if she gets released. Both say they fear they could hurt them. One says he doesn't miss his mom at all, while the other recalled the night their father died, saying something felt wrong. Today's sentence is exactly what the prosecutors requested.
Such a person should never again lurk among the rest of us. Her children should never worry that they may one day encounter her. For these reasons, the reasons set forth in the state's sentencing memorandum, and the boundless reasons the court has learned from presiding over this case, the pending criminal case, and the multiple associated civil cases, the state requests that the court impose a sentence of life in prison without parole.
Now, after today's sentencing, prosecutors released a statement saying it is a somber occasion. It is a day to honor Eric Richins and to all those who loved him and feel his loss. It was the first time for both of these families to say what they probably wanted to say for 3 or 4 years now. And somehow these 2 families have to find a way forward to raise these 3 young boys now on their own without parents.
And keep in mind, Kouri Richins also has another court case that she is involved in with other financial related crimes. More than 20 counts are involved in that, and that has a hearing coming up in just a matter of about a month or so. So family and friends of Eric Richins and Kouri Richins, many of them reacting, as you mentioned, Heidi, the first time some of them have been able to react if they weren't called to the stand here, and that all took place during today's sentencing.
That's right. Liv Kelleher has been covering that portion of the story for us. Liv, what did they have to say?
Well, Heidi, like you mentioned, it's been nearly 3 years to the date that Kouri Richins was arrested, and that has been a very long process for both sides of this family, something both of them spoke to frequently throughout today's victim impact statements. While Kouri's family says they vow to continue to fight for her release, Eric's family says they hope that this ends here.
I want Eric's sons, my nephews, to know this. Your father mattered. He was completely loved, as are you. And no verdict, sentence, or passage of time will erase that. As a family, we will continue moving forward as best we can, carrying Eric with us, honoring his memory, and choosing to live in a way that honors the life he deserved to keep living.
We're very sad. We look forward to an appeal. She's a wonderful, wonderful, good human being. And it's heartbreaking for those of us that truly know her. And at the end of the day, I believe that justice will be served. That's all we can say right now, but I know the wheels will be turning for an appeal.
Kouri's family urged Judge Mrazik to consider Kouri's full history, saying the value of her life is not determined by her worst day. They also asked him to give her the opportunity for rehabilitation by allowing the possibility of parole. 3 teachers and volunteers at the Summit County Jail also wrote letters on her behalf that demonstrated her good behavior and growth while incarcerated. Eric's family all asked the judge for life without parole, saying them and the boys will not feel safe until they know their mom cannot one day get out and potentially harm them. Judge Mrazik, as we know, ultimately sided with Eric's family. Now, I asked Eric's sister, Amy Richins, what Kouri's strong defense of her innocence and her conviction says about her remorse and her opportunity to give her boys some form of closure. Amy said, quote, "I do not believe she has any remorse, and I think she lives in her own world." Reporting live in Summit County, Liv Kelleher, KUTV 2 News.